What up, though? It's your main man, DJ Killer Kev, and you're now tapped into the Electric Elevation Podcast. Chill!
Alright, so welcome to Electric Elevation Podcast. Today I have my special guest in the building, HNG Podcast. What up, though?
What up, though? Thanks for having me.
For sure, for sure. So I know the name of the podcast is HNG, but what do you go by?
I go by DJ Forte.
DJ Forte.
Yep, and you can find my personal account at DJ Fourtay.
Okay.
DJ Forte.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started off DJing prior to doing your podcast?
No. I've always been intrigued by DJing. I want to learn eventually. Definitely take an opportunity that does present itself. Mm-hmm. But I'm just waiting for that time. But DJing's actually something that I've actually always wanted to do.
So you were thinking ahead. You just wanted to get yourself the name, so you could be prepared.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
So that way I got a name. So when that opportunity comes, I'm about to kill it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing your podcast?
I've been doing it for 2.5, going on 3 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you like most about doing it?
I like the artists that come on.
Okay.
Yeah, because each artist is different. Each interview is different, so I get to learn about each artist that's actually doing it.
What initially prompted you to want to do a podcast?
Now that's a very good question. I've always, ever since I was younger, I've been hip to the Breakfast Club, things like that. So, starting a podcast, I wanted to do something that somebody wasn't really doing. So I wanted to do something more than just a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to make it more of a podcast / music platform.
Okay.
Yep. For the artist, so that way they got a platform where you can actually learn about them, and then you can see them perform as well, and just tie it all in. So just kind of stand out was the main goal, on top of just having a podcast too.
Okay. So that's when you incorporated the virtual wall. And have the artist perform in front of there.
Yep.
Okay, so that's pretty dope. So the group I managed, the Bank Boys, they actually had a podcast interview with you, and they did a performance on the wall. And it was pretty cool.
Did. I appreciate that.
So, what have you found was most challenging about your podcast, or since you started the podcast?
I would say, just scheduling certain artists.
Okay.
Not everybody's gonna see the vision that you see.
Mm-hmm.
So, learning how to accept that part is what made it a lot easier to overcome the people that may not want to bring a certain artist to your platform, because they may think that your platform isn't the way that they're trying to brand their artist.
Mm-hmm.
So, just learning how to deal with certain situations like that, I would say was the hardest. But now that I know how to handle those, it doesn't really get to me as much now.
Mm-hmm. So what do you get most excited about when the artist is coming on, or you like to just really dig into them performing, or the history of it, or?
I like it all, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I like to learn about you, and then my all-time favorite is watching the artist perform.
Okay.
Because it's I'm seeing who that artist really is when they're on stage, them as an artist. Because they may have a fan that's watching or even listening, so it's not me you want to keep up with, but it's also the people. So that's what I always try to tell them too. It's you want to entertain the virtual audience.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. How many guests have you had so far since you've been doing this, you think?
I would say, shoot, probably over 50.
Okay.
Are we talking like unreleased, or are we talking like just all together?
Just all together.
All together, probably more than 50 for sure.
Okay. And you got your YouTube channel going and everything?
Yep, we do. Yep.
Is it the HNG Show at YouTube on YouTube?
Yep. You can follow us on YouTube at the HNG Show. And,
now, do you find it that people will watch the snippets, the clips, and watch the podcast on Instagram and Facebook, or even they might watch it on YouTube, but they don't subscribe?
Yep.
It's harder to subscribe.
Yeah, it's harder to get the subscribers, I've noticed, because you really got to draw that person in. Mm-hmm. It's that one episode that might not be enough for that one person, so they might watch you for a while before you even get the subscription. Mm-hmm. But I think that's the hardest so far. Mm-hmm. Is because
and then some people don't want to log in and you gotta do all the extra stuff.
They rather go on it and just give you that view. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But another good way to drive traffic for them to actually watch the video on YouTube. When I initially first started off, I would put up like the whole podcast on IGTV.
Okay.
And then I got to thinking like, well, hell, why they gonna go on YouTube and they can watch the whole damn thing here? So I'll only put up like 2 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Period. And if you want to see the rest, you're gonna take your ass on YouTube.
Yeah. No, you gotta click that link.
You gotta come up with some type of tactics.
You gotta click that link
to try to drive them to YouTube.
Yeah. And I used to do the same thing, honestly. I used to take the virtual performances like a week or two after the whole episode dropped, which you can watch the performance there too, but after a week or two, I would drop the whole virtual performance video on IGTV before they even took that away. I wish they would have never.
I really liked IGTV.
I liked it because you could post. I think it was.
You could post up to an hour.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So you could do a podcast on Instagram.
So a good tactic would be for the virtual performance just to show like 15 seconds or something. Yeah. And then say, hey, to be continued at YouTube.
Yep. And that's where we use that in our promo clips now. So like as the artist is getting introduced, that first 20 to 30 seconds, the next 15 to 30 seconds is a snippet of the virtual performance. So it's almost like a snippet of both.
Yeah, so it's like a recap.
Yeah, so it draws that person in to actually want to click the link.
So for some of the artists that are tuned in, let's talk about why it's important to go on different podcasts and what they can gain from it.
Okay.
So what do you think are the 3 most important things that it could be an artist, an entrepreneur, an author, whatever, can gain from going on a podcast? And all podcasts are not equal.
No.
But,
no, they're not.
Let me say that.
They're not for sure.
But if you go on a reputable podcast that has a decent fan base, what are 3 things that you think they can gain?
I think they can gain growth.
Okay.
Exposure for sure. And whether you're an artist or entrepreneur, I think you could also gain potential fans or even potential customers. But the main thing is it would have to be growth.
Okay.
Because we're all trying to grow. So like, I think the bigger the brand gets, the more well off it'll be.
So and just to piggyback off of that, sometimes certain artists they'll only want to go on the big interviews and stuff, but you have to mix it up because it's still people that watch different ones. You still might gain some fans, followers, all of that. Because I know on my platform, I've had people tell me, hey, I've gained 100, 200 followers since I came on your show, or this person reached out to me since I was on your show, or whatever. So any type of exposure is good. Yeah. So it's nothing wrong with, I call it like a mini. You could go on a mini media run. Go on a couple of them.
Exactly.
But do your research though. Look, look at the podcast prior to going on. See what type of people that they've had on there. But if it, it looks like a decent one and it's worth your time, then go on it.
I would say the audience matters too.
It does.
It does.
It does.
I would say the audience matters because...
like, for example, if you're an artist, then you don't want to go on a podcast about lifestyle travel.
No.
You want to go on a podcast that deals with other artists and things that are similar of that nature.
Exactly. Or whatever that common thing is that you have.
Right.
Artist, entrepreneur,
mm-hmm.
whatever it is that you are. Just make sure that the audience is similar to what you're doing. So that way it matches.
It's also good, though, for new artists that are not used to interviewing.
Yeah.
So it's like practice. So
mm-hmm.
before you get to by the time you get to the Breakfast Club, you want to be done went on several podcasts. So when they start coming with them questions, you know how to answer them. Your posture, the way you answer them, all of that. Because I'll get new artists who come on the podcast. It might be their first podcast that they've ever did. And when I ask them questions, it's a one-word answer. Like, no, bro, you got to elaborate.
Right.
You might say...
I need 2, 3, 4 words.
What you like most about rapping? It's cool. It's fun.
The cloud.
No. You gotta talk more. You gotta...
Right.
So, it's good to come on podcasts, again, to practice, to sharpen up your interview skills.
Express yourself, too.
Express yourself.
Because each artist that I've came to realize that comes on my show... Each artist, they all go through certain experiences, positive, negative, and in between.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you get to hear, something that one artist experienced that another artist may not have experienced.
Right. So it can be a learning tool.
It can be a similarity
mm-hmm.
as well. So
or somebody could have been went through a tough situation that Mike was gonna step into, and when they tell their story, like, well, I ain't gonna do that.
This is how I avoided it.
Well, No.
Trying the alternate route.
For sure.
Yes.
So, have you ever had a negative experience with the podcast? Like maybe an artist, they energy wasn't good, or they were aggressive, or
no.
That's good.
I would say, to be honest, if anything negative, would probably have to be an artist to try to tell me when to drop the episode.
Okay.
And that right there is... because of that, I have a new stipulation that's coming with the next season that we do.
Okay.
So we agreed that to avoid that and any altercation of someone not thinking that we're going to drop our episodes, because the way that we edit, it's different. So our episodes take a little bit more time because we want it to pop right. We want the right promotion for the artist.
Mm-hmm.
We want everybody that's involved to look good. So the quality has to be there. But with that being said, like with this next go around, we're gonna have a new terms and conditions that the artists have to sign with us, to where it's an agreement of this interview drops on this day, this month, and if there's no day that month agreed on, it could drop any day that month.
Oh, you're a good one, because I'm not about to do all that.
Yeah. That's just to avoid anything.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I had consents regarding images and the likeness of your image.
Yeah.
And your podcast, but that's pretty cool. You're doing that.
Yeah. That's just because
no, I get it. Yeah. I get it. So let's talk about your love of music. Okay. And of course, you have a podcast that's music based. Yep. So tell me who your favorite old school artist was, and then your favorite current artist.
Okay, so my favorite old school artist would have to be, I would have to say, Chingy.
Okay.
Yep. I got.
Now you got to go further back.
Further back. I don't think there's any more further going back, because
I'm talking about
in the late 90s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Biggie, Tupac, Nas.
I think I was a little too young to experience their music, but nowadays I'd have to say Tupac.
Okay.
Tupac for sure.
So Tupac, Chingy, and then what about current day?
Current day, let's see. Probably Jeezy from Shoreline Mafia.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that's I would consider that mainstream because they've came a long ways, and then they split, like the group split up, so now they're all doing their own thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel that Detroit artists are portrayed right now?
I think a lot of them are overlooked.
Okay.
By the talent.
But it's our time now, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Spotlight is on now.
Definitely is. I think Detroit, we definitely put our time in to get seen. And with that, I mean, like, we have our own sound, like our own type beat.
Okay.
Our rap is different. I feel like it's a different type of drill rap.
For sure. You said drill rap?
Yeah, I feel like it's like. I'm
not gonna say per se drill rap. Some of it.
Would you say like a good 70%? Or like a good 65%?
Like good like 60%.
Okay.
Good, like 60%.
Like 60-40, okay.
But I mean, it definitely eyes are on us right now.
Yeah.
That's why I tell a lot of artists to like watch your etiquette, watch how you move, watch how you doing, watch your pages. If you're a music artist and when somebody goes on your Instagram, it should have your music on there, not a whole bunch of pictures or you and your dog and your kids and all of that shit. It's nothing wrong with being family orientated, but have a personal page for that.
Exactly.
Like I said, it's a lot of people watching Detroit right now, and if they hear about you or hear that you popping, they want to go to your IG. They want to see music. They want to see some visuals.
They want to see the
or they want to
page.
see some MP3 on there with some music playing.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of artists people tell me about, and I go on their page and I say, well, goddamn, where the music? Right. I got to scroll down for 2 minutes.
Just
and at that point, I'm irritated.
Yeah, because I had to do all that scrolling when I could have just seen it.
So, so you never know who's watching you, who's interested in what you're doing. So artists just, keep up the professionalism, keep those visuals going, and, keep working and doing what you're doing because they are out here watching us right now.
They are for sure. I would say the eyes are on Detroit right now for sure. For
sure.
Like with the music, we definitely came a long ways. Now, have you ever came across the artist's IG page? They have, let's say, very little music videos, but a lot of them are like a cappella freestyles to beats in the background.
That's okay to have some like that, but not all. But I mean, I have seen that. That's not good either.
Yeah, no.
And people need to have some damn visuals. And I'm not trying to be funny.
No, for real.
Some people, I mean, if you on a budget, I mean, you buy 3 5s, you buy Patron and all that, save your money and get you a video done. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you got to save $50 a week, but you need to have some visuals on your page.
Yes.
You want people to take you serious, to come look at your page. They want to be able to go to YouTube and at least look at a couple videos. And then especially, you have an artist say, I've been doing this for 5 years. Well, don't tell nobody else that because you got 2 videos.
Yeah, let's just, please don't tell nobody else that. Because we got to make the visuals match the numbers.
For sure. And if it don't match,
now we got to try to figure out why it ain't matching.
Right.
Because some ain't making sense.
Right. So just, it's your brand. It's a product of you.
Yeah.
So whatever you're putting out there is a representation of yourself. So.
Yeah. And I would say the creativity of the visuals is what matters the most.
Right.
Even if you're on a budget, you can still utilize your surroundings.
Absolutely. Because a lot of videographers, they offer specials, especially if, like, one location special. Shout out to Plug Love.
Yeah, for sure.
She offers special. Shout out to GMT. He offers special. Shout out to DeWan Graves. It's a lot of good videographers out there, and they have their their regular prices, but they do periodically do specials. So hit them up. Follow their pages, and when they say, hey, for the next 2 days, I'm doing a one location video for $250. Hit them up. Take them up on that offer.
Yeah.
Because like I said, they might only be doing it for,
for a day or 2 or maybe 3, but it's not going to be forever. Yeah. So if you can definitely take advantage of an opportunity like that with a good videographer, guarantee you're not gonna be.
I gotta give Plug Love another shout out. Her shit is fire.
Yeah,
I refer a lot of people to her. Yep.
She's came a long ways too.
Yeah.
I found out about her when she first started.
Yeah.
And just seeing like everybody's transition from when they start to now, it's crazy.
Oh, shout out to Trinic Studios as well. He offers some good specials. Shout out to Trinic. He got that drone. Okay. He gonna come out there with that drone, boy. He gonna take it up.
Okay, we're gonna get the up.
And
views.
he has specials periodically as well. So you just, I'm saying, you gotta be following those people so you can see when they have those.
And you can tap in when they have those deals.
Tap in. Yeah,
for sure. All the fire videographers, man. Tap in with them. A lot of them are budget ready.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they want to work just as much as you do, but...
And then sometimes if you want to do multiple projects, you can get a videographer to give you a deal. Say, hey, I want to do my next 3 with you.
Yeah.
And they'll work a deal out with you.
Yep. And some of them might do payments. Some of them might not. It just depends on who you work with and how often you work with them.
Right.
Because that seriousness goes both ways.
Right.
So if you guys got a happy medium, then you guys should be able to, work together smoothly.
For sure. Never be afraid to ask something.
For real.
Like if you want to know if the videographer can do a certain thing or work with, just ask. The worst a person can say is no. If they say no, then hey, well. But you ask.
Yep.
You could ask and they say yeah.
Now you know how to make it happen next time.
For sure. For sure.
And I think the opportunity of knowing how to utilize your surroundings, whether you get a one scene basic package or you get a multiple scene, if you can utilize your surroundings, you can make that video pop. And that's what a lot of people like to see as like new fans, new viewers. They want to see your creativity as an artist. So if you're entertaining, they're going to stay tapped in, and they're only going to stay tapped in.
Right. And then also have some type of idea of what you want in your video. Sometimes a videographer charges a lot more if they got to do the whole treatment or if they directing it. But at least if you come with them like, hey, we're going to go in front of the Fox Theater or we going to Hart Plaza and I want to do a scene with the Renaissance Center. Have some ideas and be able to tell them a couple of shots that you want. Yes. You know what I'm saying? But if you go with nothing, then that's more work for the videographer. Not only are they just shooting, they got to think of ideas. So you got to put in a little bit of work yourself to make things easier for yourself.
So that way they can flow the way that you want it to flow when it comes that time.
But if you get stuck, your girl, I write treatments. So tap in. Just tap in.
Yeah, tap in.
Tap in. Okay, so tell me 3 things about yourself people might not know about you. You got an alter ego or anything like that?
No.
You trying to act like you shy and quiet, but you really be turned up?
I mean, I guess it depends who I'm around.
Okay.
But I try to give everybody, honestly, the benefit of the doubt until I get that bad vibe sense. And if I get that bad vibe sense, I got to start acting funny because you're acting funny, which means I got to avoid that.
Right.
So I try not to, I try to come across as, all good, you know what I mean? But,
so you just matching the energy, basically.
Yep.
I get it.
Basically, so it's just I'm going off the vibe.
Going off the vibe. Okay, so, how do you, reach out? Now, have you ever had an artist? I know we both talked before I started, and we were saying that we see what the artist has been doing and all of that. Have you ever had an artist that you didn't want to interview?
Yeah.
Because I have. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
I've had a couple.
So did you still do it, or did you?
No.
Okay.
No. It's never really came down to that yet, but I have my list of certain artists that I'm not gonna interview.
Okay.
You could pay me $20,000. I'm not gonna do it because I grew up with you. I see what you're doing now. And I see that you're doing it not for you're not doing it for the culture. Okay. You're not doing it as an artist.
Okay.
You're doing it, you're trying to chase a wave.
Well,
and which I get it, but if that's the case and you don't enjoy doing it, I can't support it.
Okay. That's one thing, but then my thing be like, if somebody is like really trash, like their music, now some trash, you could still try to like they got some potential.
How do you?
But if it's like if it's trash, say you booked your calendar booked.
I'm saying like, how do you handle that? I mean, please say your book. For real, please say your book.
Now, don't get me wrong, that's rare, but yeah, I have had it happen.
I've had it happen too.
I can't. I mean, it's like my platform is a representation of me, so I still want to have replica guests or guests that are interesting or guests, you know, that have good music, have something good to say. So if you start letting just anybody come on or people that's trash, no. I can't do that.
You can't do it because that makes the platform not look good.
Right.
Yeah, and then all these other people that are tuned in, they start questioning it, not like,
right.
Hey,
I mean, that's just like with like Adam and No Jumper and all of them. Just because you want to go on his podcast don't mean you can.
Yeah.
You got to, like, even the bigger ones, you submit, even if you got the bread and everything. If they, you know, they have to say you can come on there.
Their DM is probably
right.
They're probably waking up in the morning scrolling.
Yeah, but if he don't want to fuck with you, he not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So.
Exactly. And to be honest with you, I feel like that's where we know our worth as like a podcast. To where it's like, not only do you got to be worth being interviewed, but it's certain things that we look at in the people that are inquiring to come on the show. So if it's not matching what we think our viewers are going to like, then it don't make sense.
Right. Because your viewers are your fans and you don't want to disappoint them either.
Exactly.
And like I said, you want to uphold your brand for having quality guests, quality content. So.
Yes.
Yeah, but like I said, that's rare, you know, that's happened, but it can.
It can happen. Oh yeah, for sure. That's not a doubt. For sure that's possible.
So, what do you want to do next? Well, how big, like, your podcast is where it is right now. What else do you see branching off from that?
I see Hip Hop New Generation being a podcast network. Like, I think we can eventually have a network where we film other podcasts and produce them.
Okay.
Sponsor them and push them to be like more commercialized.
Okay.
To you know, not only draw in like revenue for everybody, but just all around do it right and just build a proper foundation for podcasters to have like a network to come stream on.
Okay.
I think would be dope. That's what I see.
For sure. And then, okay, let's talk about the marketing part of it. And it's important, like, if you come and you get on the podcast, you get good views. The podcasters posting it on their platforms, you posting it on yours. You still got to send it out to your people so they, you know, can share it. Yeah. And one thing that I do see is sometimes artists, they friends won't even share their stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Some of them do. It's like half and half. Yeah. But like if you rocking with somebody and you see they trying to do something, you know they're artists, share their stuff. We'll do it. Hurry. Don't pause. Share their stuff. That's a form of support. Yeah. If you can't make it out to none of their shows, but you saw them doing something, you saw them have a flyer, share it.
At least share the flyer.
At least share it.
That's all you can do. Like, I've seen that. I've seen people come on my show, not share their interview, which is cool, because, I mean, I'd be proud to come on my show if I was them, or just any show, and just, promote it. I'm doing something. I got my first ever podcast interview, or whatever it is, like I'm talking about this tape I dropped, or I'd be proud to share something like that. And that's something that I ain't figured out yet.
That's weird.
Yeah, that I'd say out of the most weirdest things, that's probably like the most weirdest thing I've ever experienced. Because I can't figure out why.
Okay. Yeah. Now that's never happened to me, but see, I'm the type of person, because I'm just Extra. And I'm a little aggressive. I probably will hit them up and be like, why you ain't share your shit?
Hey. I mean, right.
Like,
trying to figure out what's going on here.
See, that's why, luckily, I'm at the point now where I can charge to come on my platform. Because if that's what you want to do, then you paid, so that's you. But I still would be curious. Like, why would you?
Yeah, like, why would you not share it?
Right.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I definitely get that. But I think I came to the point now doing this 3 years to where it's like, that tells me that you don't really.
Unless it was something that they weren't confident within themselves.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't like the way they were articulating or answering the questions or something like that. So it could have been a lack of confidence within themselves. But again, like me, I would have wanted to know.
Yeah.
Like, because I'll hit you up.
So
like,
that way we can fix it.
You done came on here.
Right.
Why you didn't share it?
Yeah. Something. It's one of those things.
Yeah. But I'm just saying it may not have been you. It may have been
like
them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, I get it. You know, like every person's not going to be 100 with you too, as well. You know, they might be like, well, if I tell him this, he might take offense to this.
And some people are really, really shy.
Yeah.
I've had
real
artists
shy.
that talk about switches, chopper. Girls talk about slapping bitches, and they'll come on here and sounding like goddamn Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
And
like, damn.
You know what I'm saying? So
we have to look at it twice.
Right. So, you know, that's why I call it like the alter ego thing. Some people are they're shy. Yeah. But they're not shy when they get on that stage. They tear the stage down, or they're dope artists, performers, but then when they're interviewing is different.
Yeah.
So that's why part of being an interviewer, you have to make people comfortable. That's why we drink. If you don't drink, I mean, you don't have to drink. I have other things than alcoholic beverages if you don't drink. But you have to make people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
That's why when
I think that's the main thing. Honestly.
You know, we kick it for maybe 10 minutes before I even start with the questions, because I'm going to make you feel comfortable, make you feel at home, sit down for a minute, chop it up for a minute. If you want an energy drink or water, that's fine, but I'm going to drink me some Cosmigos. But after that,
hell yeah, turn up.
You got to make people comfortable so they can, you know, open up.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
And I think that goes a long ways. Like, I've had a couple interviews where I realized, like, even making the guests feel comfortable and just going out of your way to make sure that they're comfortable,
mm-hmm.
It makes the podcast, like, go by a lot more smoother.
For sure.
Too. So it's not like, okay, you got to figure out how I'm going to break the ice. And then once that ice is broken, is it going to be awkward or is it going to be, like, a cool-ass vibe the whole time?
Right. For sure. I mean, that's even when I'm not interviewing an artist and I interview an entrepreneur, like I've had authors come through here.
That's fire.
A city council person. So you adapt to the audience or the person that you have.
Yeah, for sure.
Professional people still want to drink too, though.
Oh yeah, they do.
But like I said,
sure
even if we're not drinking, I got coffee, Gatorade, whatever. But we're gonna have a conversation and break the ice, like you said before we start.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta.
I feel like that's the best way to do it because, like, I've had a couple guests where, like, when I first started,
mm-hmm.
the biggest artist that I've ever interviewed at that time was Casher Kwan.
Okay.
And after that interview, I became Casher Kwan's personal driver for, like, the next 2 years. But as I was doing the podcast, like, slowly and, like, booking certain guests, I would have people come over and be like, Casher Kwan sat in this chair? And I'd be like, yeah, bro, like, you're making it seem like this is a chair of fame right here. like, but I didn't say that part, but I was just like, yeah. So, like, it was just crazy, like, seeing that part happen. But it's like, such and such was in this chair? Yep. Go ahead and add to it.
Right.
So, I mean, I think doing it, I've learned a lot, to be honest with you.
For sure.
I've learned a lot. Like,
learned a lot, met a lot of people,
yes.
Had so many opportunities.
Yes. Good, bad.
Come to me, presented to me since I started my podcast.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's good. That's good. Have you ever considered like possibly sponsoring like your own show?
Yeah.
I think that'd be dope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And then I do red carpet. You gotta go on the road too. Like when you see the movie premieres, because I get media passes and do movie premieres and different stuff. Or a lot of artists invite me out to their listening party. One of the funnest listening parties I went to. Let me see. I've been to so many of them. Like they'll invite me out. Hey Kim, come vlog or podcast a listening party. But I went to Dame Dots at the Coalition Studios. I went to Tones, some of everybody.
Oh yeah.
So whenever somebody usually have a listening party in the city, they invite me out. I'll come. I'll record, do some footage. If a movie comes out in the city, I'm usually there, vlogging or doing interviews with the people, whatever. Okay. And it's pretty cool.
You'll do like behind the scene interviews.
I do behind the scene interviews and everything. But I'm gonna tell you something. I even went last year. I went to LA. And the BET Awards was out there, and I was out there. Oh, it's on my page too.
That's fire.
So I'm interviewing them.
I think I did see that.
Yeah,
I did see that. Yeah, I did see that.
I'm everywhere you want to be.
That's dope. That's dope. For real, that's dope.
Yeah. Okay, so any shout outs you want to give or final thoughts, takeaways?
I want to shout out to my co-host NBL Grizz.
Okay.
He taught me a lot, like, as an artist standpoint, getting into this stuff, and just listening to that, like, made me realize what certain things that artists go through. Mm-hmm. And with me being able to realize those things and him helping me understand certain things, really made me realize how to conduct my show a lot better and to where it needs to be. So it's like, I think the way that me and him met and the way that the connection stayed there, it's like very rare to find. So it's like, we're one of them people that if I don't know something, he knows it, and if he don't know it, I know it. Okay. So that's a good person to have. I would shout out NBL Grizz, THC Tech, which is the HNG Show sponsor. Okay. And then shout out the HNG Show.
For sure. So if you guys want to check his show out, it's the HN. Shout out your Instagram.
Our Instagram it's the HNG Show. You can find us on the gram, YouTube, Spotify, all that. The HNG Show. Okay. Cool. And if an artist wants to get in contact with you about getting on, they can just DM you as well. Yep. Okay, so DM, he has a dope platform. You could do a virtual performance after your interview. It's pretty cool. I suggest you go out there and take a look at some of the previous artists that he had on there. And if you want to go on there, hit him up. Want to come on my show, hit me up. Check us out. Go follow me and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well at Electric Elevation Podcast. Yes, sir. And shout out to Bank Boys too, man.
For sure.
Shout out to Bank Boys.
Y'all
go check them out.
Matter of fact, shout out all my artists that I manage. Bank Boys. Shout them out. Shout out to Tone Loop. Shout out to Roadrunner Zeke. Shout out to Metro 904. Shout out to Mr. Drysdale and BP Bank Rolly. Shout them out. Shout out to DJ Culinary. Street Certified Radio is in the building. Shout out to Paid Artist Showcase we got coming up. The next one we got coming up is February 18th. It's in Toledo. If you want to get on that show, hit me up. We have a couple of more slots available.
So you better get on that show.
Right.
Those slots going to fill up quick.
All right. Shout out to DJ Killer Kev, Ouija the Hustler, Juicy Nicole, everybody that's on the team. Peace.